What if I told you that understanding a few simple truths about women could change your love life forever? Not by manipulation, not by tricks, but by wisdom, by seeing reality as it is. Would you listen? Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, because the ideas you're about to hear can shift the way you approach relationships, attraction, and emotional stability. Watch this video till the end, because missing even one point might leave you struggling with the same problems over and over again. Now let's talk about what the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius would say about the hidden weaknesses of women and why every man must understand them. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, but he wasn't swayed by power, wealth, or women. He understood human nature deeply, both the strengths and the weaknesses. In meditations, he constantly reminded himself of one thing: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This is where most men fail in relationships. They try to change women, control them, or expect them to be something they're not. But a true Stoic learns to understand women, not control them. So let's break down the 10 weaknesses every man must know, not to exploit them, but to navigate relationships with wisdom and emotional strength. 1. Emotional storms can overwhelm her. Have you ever had a moment where the woman you love suddenly seemed upset, and you had no idea why? Maybe she was laughing with you one moment, and the next she was distant, frustrated, or even crying. You rack your brain trying to figure out what you did wrong, but nothing makes sense. Here's the truth. She's not always looking for a solution. Sometimes she just needs to feel heard. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." Most men make the mistake of reacting emotionally when a woman is upset. You might try to fix the problem, defend yourself, or even argue back. But what if I told you the secret isn't fixing her emotions, but simply holding your ground? Picture a storm at sea, waves crashing, thunder roaring, the ship shaking violently. Now imagine an unshakable lighthouse standing tall in the storm, untouched by the chaos around it. Be that lighthouse. The next time she's overwhelmed by emotions, don't take it personally. Instead, listen, nod, say, "I understand," and let her waves crash against you while you remain steady. She will respect you more because of it. Think about your own love life. Have you ever experienced this? A time when she was upset, and you got frustrated because you didn't understand why? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. The more we share, the more we grow. 2. She craves security, even if she acts independent. Have you ever been with a woman who proudly said, "I don't need a man," but at the same time, she expected you to provide emotional or financial support? This might have confused you. You thought, if she's independent, why does she still expect me to be strong? Here's the reality. Women can be fiercely independent, but deep down they crave a sense of security. And this isn't about money, it's about emotional and psychological stability. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Dig deep within yourself, for there is a fountain of strength within you." A woman wants to know that no matter how crazy life gets, you won't fold under pressure. That when things get tough, you won't panic or crumble. Think about this. Have you ever had a moment in your relationship where your woman seemed distant or uncertain? Maybe she was testing your strength without even realizing it. Maybe she was waiting to see if you could handle her world without falling apart. This is why so many men fail, not because they aren't good enough, but because they seek stability from the woman. Instead of being the source of stability, you must be your own foundation. Build your life, your finances, your mindset, and your emotional strength before expecting a woman to trust you fully. When she sees you standing firm, she will feel safe without you even needing to say a word. If this resonates with you, hit the like button. And if you've ever been in a situation where a woman's actions confused you, comment below. Let's figure this out together. 3. She tests you without realizing it. Ever been in a situation where everything seemed perfect and then suddenly she started picking fights over the smallest things? Maybe she accused you of not caring enough or acted like you didn't love her, even though you did. It's frustrating, right? You're sitting there thinking, why is she making problems where there are none? This is where most men fail, because they don't realize one simple truth. She is testing you not because she wants to hurt you, but because she needs to know if you're strong. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." She isn't testing you consciously. It's wired deep within her nature. A woman needs to feel that the man she's with is steady, unshakable and emotionally in control. When she picks a fight, she's not looking for a battle, she's looking for proof. Proof that you won't break under pressure. Proof that you won't collapse when challenged. So what should you do when she tests you? The answer is simple: stay calm. Don't react emotionally. Don't get defensive. Instead, smile, breathe, and say, "I hear you." That's it. Think back to your past relationships. Have you ever failed a test without realizing it? Have you ever walked away from a relationship because the woman seemed too difficult, only to realize later she was just checking if you were strong enough? If this hits home, leave a comment. And if you want to learn more, keep watching, because the next 7 truths will change the way you see women forever. 4. She is drawn to power, not niceness. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you did everything right in a relationship, yet she still lost interest? You were kind, respectful, always there for her, and yet she pulled away? It's one of the most painful things. A man can experience the confusion of being a good guy and still losing the woman he loves. But here's what society never tells you: niceness alone is not enough. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." Women respect power, and I don't mean political power or money, I mean personal power. Your sense of purpose, your drive, your ability to lead. Think back to your own love story. Have you ever been so focused on her that you forgot about you? You made her your whole world. And instead of being grateful, she started losing interest. Why? Because deep down, she wanted a man who had his own path. A man who could love her without losing himself. She doesn't want a follower. She wants a leader. Not someone who blindly agrees with everything she says, but someone with his own mind, his own mission. And here's the truth: if you focus on your goals, your purpose, and your self-improvement, she will be more attracted to you than if you simply try to please her. Drop a comment below. Have you ever lost someone because you were too nice? Let's talk about it. 5. She can be indecisive even about you. Ever had a woman who seemed crazy about you one moment and distant the next? Maybe one day she's planning a future with you and the next she's unsure. Frustrating, right? But here's what most men don't realize: this isn't about you. It's about how emotions work in women. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." A woman's feelings are fluid. One moment she might feel like you're the love of her life. The next, a random thought, a conversation with a friend, or even her hormones can make her question everything. If you panic and start seeking reassurance, you fail the test. If you get angry and demand explanations, you push her further away. The secret? Don't take it personally. Instead, be the constant in her shifting emotions. Show her through your actions that you are stable, reliable, and confident in yourself. Let her have her moments of uncertainty, but don't let them shake you. Think about it. Has a woman ever been hot and cold with you? One moment she says you're everything she's ever wanted, and the next she's confused? How did you react? Comment below if this has ever happened to you. I want to hear your story. 6. She wants a leader, not a follower. Imagine this. You're dating a woman and at first everything is great, but over time you notice something. She starts making all the decisions. Where you eat, what you do, even what you wear. You think, well, she's happy, right? I'm just going with the flow. But then she starts losing respect for you. She seems less attracted, less excited. Eventually she leaves. What happened? Marcus Aurelius warned, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." A woman does not want a man who always follows. She might say she wants you to be agreeable, but deep down, she is wired to be attracted to leadership. She wants to feel like she can trust your decisions. Now, this doesn't mean being controlling. It means having a backbone, having a vision for your life, knowing where you're going and leading with confidence. Think back to your past relationships. Have you ever found yourself constantly asking, "What do you want to do?" instead of deciding for both of you? Have you ever noticed her becoming less attracted when you started deferring to her for everything? Drop a comment if this resonates with you, and stay with me because the next few truths are going to change the way you see women forever. 7. She is influenced by her social circle. Have you ever been in a relationship where everything was going well until she started listening to her friends? Suddenly she seemed distant, questioning things she never questioned before. One day she was deeply in love with you. The next she was unsure. You start wondering what changed. The answer is simple: her environment. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know the truth. Women are deeply influenced by their social circles. If her friends or family don't approve of you, their opinions will seep into her mind even if she loves you. They might not say it directly, but subtle comments like, "Are you sure he's the right guy?" can plant seeds of doubt. Here's where most men go wrong. They try to fight against it. They argue, they get defensive. They ask her to choose between them and her friends. But a man who understands female nature takes a different approach. He becomes the strongest influence in her life. How? By standing firm in his values. By being so confident, so grounded, that her social circle's opinions cannot shake her belief in you. Think back to your past relationships. Have you ever lost a woman because her friends or family didn't approve? How did you handle it? Comment below, I want to hear your story. As she respects a man who can walk away. Let's be real, have you ever begged for a woman to stay? Maybe you felt like if you just tried harder, if you just proved your love, she would change her mind. But the harder you tried, the more distant she became. Why? Because a woman cannot respect a man who is afraid to lose her. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Respect is the foundation of attraction. And the moment a woman senses that you value her more than you value yourself, she will start to lose respect for you. Now, this doesn't mean you should be cold or heartless. It means you should never tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or emotional games. It means that if she pulls away, you let her. If she plays mind games, you don't engage. And if she truly wants to leave, you say, "I respect your decision." This is the hardest truth for men to accept. But the moment you master it, everything changes. Women don't want a man who is desperate to keep them. They want a man who chooses them but doesn't need them. Think back, have you ever lost a woman because you held on too tightly? Because you tried too hard to convince her to stay? Comment below and let's talk about it. 9. She feels first, then justifies. Ever had a woman tell you she's not happy in the relationship, but she can't explain why? Or maybe she lost attraction to you but couldn't give you a logical reason? This is where most men get stuck. They ask, what did I do wrong? Or how can I fix it? But here's what you need to understand. Women feel first, then justify later. Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Most men make the mistake of thinking attraction and love are purely logical. They believe if they provide, if they're kind, if they do everything right, the woman will stay. But attraction isn't about logic, it's about emotion. A woman might suddenly lose interest. And when you ask why, she'll struggle to explain. Maybe she'll say, I just don't feel the same anymore. And that's the truth, she doesn't feel it. So what's the solution? Stop trying to convince her. Instead, focus on creating emotional attraction. Be playful. Be unpredictable. Be the man she fell for, not the man trying to convince her to love him. Have you ever been in a situation where a woman's feelings changed and you never understood why? How did you handle it? Drop a comment, I want to hear your experience. 10. She follows the energy you give off. Let me ask you a deep question. What kind of energy do you bring into your relationships? Do you show up with confidence, purpose, and strength? Or do you bring anxiety, doubt, and insecurity? Because here's the hard truth. A woman mirrors the energy you give off. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you are confident in yourself, if you have a sense of purpose, if you live a life you're proud of, she will feel that and be drawn to it. But if you're constantly worried, doubting yourself or seeking validation, she will feel that too and she will pull away. This is why needy men struggle in relationships. It's not because they're bad people, it's because their energy is off. They come from a place of lack instead of abundance. So how do you fix this? Shift your mindset. Focus on your goals. Become the man you would respect. Live in a way that excites you. And watch how women naturally respond. Conclusion. So what do we learn from Marcus Aurelius? Women are not the enemy. They are not puzzles to be solved or battles to be won. They are human just like you. The key is to understand their nature, not resist it. A strong man does not complain about women's weaknesses. He navigates them with wisdom, patience, and unshakable confidence. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.